A creator can get 1 million views and still have a weak business with thin margins, weak retention, and no owned audience. Another creator can get 20,000 and quietly build a real company with products, repeat customers, and stable monthly cash flow. The number looks obvious, but the money story usually is not, especially once churn, CPM swings, and platform cuts enter the picture. So here is the uncomfortable question: if views feel like growth, why do so many creators stay financially anxious even after breakout months? And why do some smaller channels have more stability, better margins, and more control over their future, despite reaching 1/10 the audience and posting less often? If your whole strategy depends on reach, then your income depends on volatility, not design. Platforms change, formats age, attention moves, and algorithms reprice distribution overnight. A business needs repeatable revenue. Views alone only tell you that strangers stopped scrolling for a moment, not that they trust you, need you, or will ever buy. That distinction matters more than most creators realize in year one. A view is an output. An asset is something you can rely on, improve, and use again tomorrow. Email lists, products, customer trust, and repeat buyers act like assets because they compound. Viral spikes do not. They feel exciting, but usually decay in days, not quarters. Attention is not revenue. Reach is not retention. Popularity is not a business model. Those are signals, not systems, and confusing them creates expensive strategic mistakes. Platforms train you to watch the easiest number because it updates instantly and rewards your brain. Views move fast, look impressive, and create emotional feedback. Revenue systems move slower and often feel boring at first. Because of that, many creators optimize what is visible instead of what is durable, measurable, and profitable 6 months later. A business model needs 4 things working together: predictable demand, a clear offer, a path to conversion, and a way to keep customers close after the first sale. Remove any one of those, and attention starts leaking value. For example, great content without retention can produce clicks but still fail to create compounding monthly revenue. Early social platforms helped create the myth that scale automatically leads to wealth, because a few breakout creators became case studies. Sometimes it did. Ad revenue and sponsorship money rewarded big audiences. But that success hid how fragile platform-dependent income could be when rates changed, brand budgets tightened, or distribution suddenly shifted. Advertising pays for attention at scale, but most creators do not control pricing, demand cycles, or the auction itself. CPM means cost per 1,000 impressions, basically what advertisers pay for distribution. If rates fall or views dip, your income drops immediately. A finance channel might earn far more than a comedy channel with the same traffic. Even a $10 CPM can disappoint in practice. 100,000 views might sound massive, but after platform cuts, geography, topic differences, ad fill rates, and inconsistency, the result often looks much smaller than creators expect. In some months, the same video idea can earn 30 to 50% less. Now imagine the creator treadmill over 12 exhausting months. To keep revenue alive, you need another upload, then another campaign. If you stop publishing, the system slows. That is not leverage. That is labor disguised as momentum, and it often breaks the moment energy, health, or life circumstances change. Smaller creators often learn a different lesson faster because they cannot hide behind vanity metrics. If you cannot rely on ad scale, you start asking sharper questions. Who is this for? What problem do they have? What would help them enough to pay, refer a friend, or stay in your ecosystem for 12 months? This is the first big shift serious operators make. Size measures reach. Intent measures usefulness and commercial potential. A huge broad audience may enjoy you for 7 seconds. A smaller focused audience may trust you enough to buy from you, refer you, and stay for years. In business terms, intent usually beats raw scale. Trust is what turns attention into economics, especially in crowded categories where plenty of people look entertaining. You can entertain millions and still have thin trust. Or you can consistently solve one painful problem for a smaller group and become their obvious next step. That is why niche educators often outsell broader personalities. Conversion simply means some percentage of your audience takes a business action after consuming the content. They subscribe to your list, book a call, buy a template, join a membership, or respond to a sponsor offer. That bridge is the model. Without it, content may be entertaining but economically disconnected from your business goals. Instead of asking, how many people watched, ask what happened next in measurable terms. Did anyone remember you? Did they join your world? Did the content move them closer to a paid relationship or a measurable business outcome? A 5% sign-up rate on 5,000 views can outperform a viral clip with none. The deeper metrics usually matter more than views because they reveal behavior, intent, and economic quality. They tell you whether attention is becoming trust, leads, customers, and retained revenue. You might say, sponsors pay for views. Sometimes they do, especially in simple awareness campaigns. But strong sponsorship businesses do not just sell impressions. They sell fit, trust, audience quality, consistency, and a creator's ability to influence action beyond a view count. A niche B2B creator with 25,000 views can outperform a viral lifestyle creator. Brands do not buy your ego. They buy access to the right people and confidence that those people will listen, remember, click, and maybe purchase within a realistic attribution window. Cheap reach can actually hurt you, which sounds backward until you examine incentives. If your audience is broad but low intent, sponsors may get weak results, products may not convert, and your content style may drift toward whatever travels fastest instead of whatever compounds. That can inflate vanity while quietly weakening brand positioning and buyer trust. That is why a creator serving software founders, fitness coaches, or first-time home buyers can outperform a much bigger entertainment account on revenue per follower. Narrow audiences often carry clearer problems, stronger buying intent, and easier positioning. They also make product design simpler because the pain points, language, and objections are easier to identify. I would rather have 10,000 trusted subscribers than 1 million indifferent viewers, because trust converts, indifference scrolls away, and businesses are built on repeat behavior rather than momentary exposure. Here is where the second open loop starts to close. If views happen on rented land, owned audience lives closer to you and your economics. Email, SMS, community, and customer data reduce the risk that one platform decides your month. They also improve launch velocity because you can reach people directly on demand. A channel can look healthy right until distribution changes in a single quarter. Click-through falls, recommendations cool, short-form trends move, and suddenly your top-line metric drops. If no owned relationship exists underneath, you feel that shock immediately. What looked like a business was often just borrowed traffic with attractive monthly screenshots. So the twist is this: chasing more views too early can delay building a business, even though it feels productive. It can train you to make broader content, attract weaker buyers, and postpone the hard work of offers, systems, and audience ownership. The trap is subtle because growth dashboards make the wrong strategy feel validated. Views still matter, and pretending otherwise would be simplistic. They create discovery, signal relevance, and can improve deal flow with sponsors, partners, and customers. But they matter most when they feed a system. Reach without capture is noise. Reach with conversion becomes distribution leverage, especially when paired with retention and repeat offers. The strongest creator businesses usually stack revenue instead of betting everything on one channel. One stream brings cash, another builds margin, another deepens loyalty, and another protects against platform swings. That mix matters more than raw reach alone. Think sponsors for cash flow, products for margin, and community for retention and feedback. First, build for a specific transformation, not generic attention that anyone might casually enjoy. People pay for outcomes. If your content clearly moves someone from problem to result, monetization gets easier because the value is easier to understand. For example, land your first client sells better than general freelancing tips. Second, design a path off platform early, before you feel ready and before algorithms wobble. Your call to action should not just ask for another view. It should invite a deeper relationship, a newsletter, a waitlist, a lead magnet, a consult, or a low-ticket offer. Even a simple checklist can begin that transfer of trust. Third, measure quality of audience behavior, not just quantity of exposure. Track replies, saves, referrals, qualified leads, sponsor performance, and customer retention. Those numbers reveal whether your content builds a business or merely creates a temporary spike. Counterintuitively, lower views with better lead quality often mean your strategy is improving. Ask yourself these 3 questions before chasing growth, because they expose whether your content engine is connected to an actual business engine or just producing louder numbers. If you remember one thing, remember this: content is your top of funnel, not your whole company. Your real business lives in the systems underneath the content that capture trust and turn it into value. Funnels, offers, CRM, onboarding, retention, and customer success matter even if they never go viral. That is how creators graduate from chasing applause to building assets that survive trends. The strongest businesses use views as fuel, not identity. Attention opens the door. Systems, offers, and ownership decide whether the door stays open. In other words, audience growth matters most when enterprise design exists behind it. Build the asset, not just the audience. That is the game: turn attention into ownership, trust into revenue, and reach into resilience. Build